With an army of townsfolk by your side, you march forth and free the captured Englands. Now, one last challenge remains. Onwards to save the forgotten lands from the assistance coup! So it's all come down to this. We are on our 5th scenario. So quite a bit is changed in this one. So additional setup, we are using all of the action tokens in this chapter. We place a food on all flag spaces of the forest territory, the minerals in the desert, and weapons in the glacier. We randomly placed 3 solo tokens face down each dock on my player board. Instead of placing the action tokens inside the bag, we are placing them beside the board. They're over here for now. I may move them as the game goes on. Additional rules. In the recruit phase, I can basically use any 4 that I want. So I basically pick which ones I want to grab, and those are the cards that I'm going to grab. Exploration markers, collect goods. When they land on them, then immediately reset their position. So if I go here, I go back here. When I collect this one, I go back to this flag. So you return to the flags. If a dock has 1 or more solo tokens when you complete an order, remove a solo token and gain its reward alongside any normal rewards. Then reveal 2 new townsfolk cards from a deck of your choice. We are always going to skip the return phase. So the exploration markers do not return back at the end of the round. We do not remove any action tokens from the town. We do not discard townfolk cards from the display or reveal new cards. The way you reveal those is having to do orders. The chapter objective is all solo tokens must be removed from the docks by the end of the game. So we basically need to do 9 dock actions with those. I have my green starting card where you're doing the easy, which means I start with a green card, which gave me 3 swords. I have number 1, which is my swords one. So when I do an order that includes swords, I get a point. When I have 5 swords done, I will move 1 on the mountain track. So with all that being said, we kind of have free will of how we want to do things. So I see these 2 cards here, so I know I'm going to possibly eventually want to grab 2 green ones. But again, I am limited to 3 total green cards for the game. So same thing with up here. If you're looking at this, yellow cards are going to give me points there, green cards are going to give me points here, etc. So trying to figure out what we might want to do first, because I don't know if I want to get a bunch of cards out here or kind of work with what I have. Like I might do these because that's going to allow me to do a sale here and then get set up for these other ones. We'll kind of figure this out as it's going along. This is one that's going to take some thinking and some figuring out. So I think we are going to start out by doing a green one. Let's go ahead and grab these 3 crystals. Minerals, if you will. And we'll plop them in the docks like so. Then we'll kind of just start stacking those there. Now the big thing is like putting out the trading posts are going to help me be able to get more rewards when I do those and for scoring these cards, but they don't really matter when I'm returning or moving my guys at all. So I don't know how much I'm going to focus on those. I'm going to still want to do some of them just so I can get the points and get better stuff when I do the selling. So I know my first one I'm probably going to be selling on is the forest. So let's see about maybe getting some out in the forest. Those both are mountains. That's the desert. We should have a forest one up here. So let's go ahead and do a gray one. So which one lets me put on the forest? Here we go. So we do a movement on the forest, which gets us a sword. And then we immediately come back. So the sword we're going to put at the end here. And then we are going to put out one of our forest right there. For my third one, I may grab this so I can get these symbols and maybe get some end game points. Since I've already started there. Or we have the masks. The mask is on the 3 apples. And there is the one for the forest I said I was going to focus on. So let's go ahead and go here. Grab this one for the forest. That one lets me put one on anywhere. So I could do my second forest one knowing I'm about to go ahead and fill that. Although I probably should focus on the desert because that lets me move around in there more. So we're going to get kind of willy-nilly with this. And let's go ahead and grab this one. and grab this. So that's 2 points and puts out a forest trading post. So that is my 4. I will now bring them over like I would normally. So this is when I can trigger some stuff. I just need to remember that what I trigger, I'm not going to be able to trigger again. So I may start low and then save the big ones for the end when I kind of might need to get some cards and stuff. So first, this one doesn't really matter. So we're just going to come here and we're going to grab 2 contracts. My card here, I am able to spend 2 contracts, basically grab a good of my choice. So that's going to be helpful. Let's go ahead and grab, I think, 1 sword. 1 sword and a movement. And let's go ahead and move and grab this apple, which then returns me back there. We're going to put the apple there. We're going to put our sword right here. We are now going to complete this one. That is 1, 2, 3 points because of the swords. We get to do one of these solo ones randomly. Let's grab that one. A good of my choice. I think we're going to grab another sword and put that sword there. So then we go through. We can move on the mountain. And then we get a point per green card. So that's 2 points. And that's that. We now are going to, and then we reveal 2 more cards from somewhere. So this is where you're going to have to maybe just forgive me. You're not going to be able to see as much of my board this time because I'm going to move this over and slide these over. And I think we're going to reveal 2 more of the green cards. Now we're going to trigger this one. Oh, that was 2 swords, wasn't it? So that's 2 more points. 1, 2. We have 5 swords on here now, which moves me on the mountain. Going down here, we move 1 on here. That gives us a crystal. Go ahead and put the crystal on there. We get 2 points for our green cards. And then we move 1 on the forest. And then we get 1 of these. That gives us an apple. Let's just trigger the row. So then this is going to, let's get these right here. And I think with that one, we're going to reveal a couple more yellow cards. There is that action. So that was a lot with just that one. Oh, I got 1 more to do. We're triggering down here. So we move on the forest. We get the 2 points for the 2 green cards. And then 2 more points. And then this one. That gives me a sword. We'll go ahead and put the sword. Let's go ahead and put the sword right there. And I get to reveal 2 more cards. I think we're going to reveal 2 gray cards. I feel like these might be helpful, being able to maybe move me on tracks and get certain things to help me do that. All right, so that was all that one. Next one, we are going to, so we can get crystals or we can get apples. We can get crystals, and I can trigger this one for a 3rd time. I think I'm going to go with just the 1 crystal. No, we're going to go 2 crystals and 2 points. Or minerals. We'll drop a mineral there and drop a mineral here. Trade these 3 in. Move on the mountain. Gives me another sword. And I go back to there. Put the sword right there. And then 2 points for the green cards. And reveal 1 of these. A good of my choice. We're going to grab a sword. Get those swords built up there. Reveal 2 cards. Let's go ahead and reveal a couple of red cards, seeing as those are going to help me get up there. All right. And my last one is green. We're going to go apple and sword, and we're going to trigger both of these. Just try and get my cards laid out. So we'll trigger this one first. Doop, doop, doop. Move on the forest. Then we're going to be getting 4 points. And then reveal one. We get a sword. We'll put our sword right there. And then reveal 2 cards. Let's go ahead and reveal 1, 2 more blue. I'm running out of space already with all these cards. This is going to be madness. Madness, I say. We're going to do this one. So that's 3 swords. 1, 2, 3 points. We move on the mountain. And 2 points for the green cards. Reveal this last one. It is 2 points. 1, 2. And deal out 2 more cards. You know what? Let's go ahead and get the pink with a couple more. We're going to kind of maybe do that and reveal one there and flip that over there. All right. So might be a little bit harder to follow this one than my previous ones. I apologize. I didn't realize this was going to be as verbose. I thought it was going to take me a while to actually do that. I'd have less options for cards, but apparently I have a ton more. So that is all those tiles. So I am done with there. Now we typically move into the return phase. We skip it. So we are into the next phase where I'm going to use the tokens to grab stuff. I think we're going to come up here and grab this one. Because I want to try and maybe get this right here, even though I know I'm not going to have a ton of yellow. I'm going to have some yellow. So there's that one. So that's 4 of those. So if I get another one of those, which is right here. So let's go ahead and go to green, which gives me a point, a sword, and an apple. So we're going to put our apple here and our sword there. So that gives me 5 of those symbols. So now we are going to put our little token up there. So I'll be getting 3 points for every yellow card, which maybe I might take a yellow card now and get one of my areas out. We're going to grab this one. Although, yeah, I'll do that one. So we go there. That gives us a crystal. We're going to put it in that middle one. Gives us a point and puts another one out on the desert. So that's 1, 2, 3. I have a 4th one. I could start moving and getting income points with those. I don't think I want to, though. I think I want to get some other stuff. So I can grab 1 more yellow and 1 more green, technically. No, I think we're going to go gray again. And we're going to grab this one. That gives me 1, 2, 3 points and lets me put any house out. And let's go ahead and put out the last desert one. Like that. All right, so now we can kind of push that one up there for now. So that is my 4. So again, let's go ahead and grab the gray, come over here, gives me a point, gives me a contract token. Now I can get me some goods. Let's start with 2 points and a crystal. We're going to drop that in the middle. We're going to come over here, grab 2 apples and a good of our choice. Our good of our choice is going to be a crystal to drop in this first one. Drop an apple there, drop an apple there. So we'll resolve this one first at the end. So that is going to move us on this one, which gets us an apple. And we come all the way back to that flag. We're going to get 2 points per green card. We have 3 of them now. So that's 3, and then the additional 2 is 5. Our solo token is another apple, which works because now we can do that one as well. And then we can reveal 2 cards. So let's go ahead and reveal 2 more green. That way I know what all of my options are for my green cards. Then we're going to resolve this one. Oh, I forgot to do my other sword. So that's going to be 2 points. I have 5 swords, which moves me on the mountain. There's my apple for that. So now we move on the desert. Green cards, there's going to be 6 points total. We're going to move on the forest and move on the glacier. And then reveal a solo token, 2 more points. So I need to do 1 more sale in this middle one. So we have 3 apples at this end one. We move on the glacier, which gets us a sword. We move back here. We're going to throw that in the middle where it needs to be. And then 3 points for the green cards. 1, 2, and 3. And there was no token, so I cannot reveal any more cards. I only have 2 more card reveals with that one. And my final one, I'm going to do the red. That gives me 2 swords. We'll drop 1 there and 1 there. And it lets me move on any track. We're going to move here, which gets me the crystal. And then I fly back to that track right there. So that was my 4 for that one. 2, 4, 6, 8. I've grabbed no blue. I've grabbed no pink. So that's intriguing. Moving into the final round. So I have to get 1 more cell there. And then at the end of the game, I still need to try and reach my 110 points. I know I always say I'm always a little wary of that. But yeah, because we'll see how the end game points play out and how I do other things here. So given what I see out here, I know I can get my good because I have these. So I don't have to worry about necessarily grabbing good. So I might want to focus on points and getting maybe a couple more guys up here. So of that, I have 5 of them. I have 2 of the koala and 2 of the masks. So I think we're going to go here and grab this double face mask one here, because that gives me 4 of those. Although that's green and blue, and I have the 3 greens, so that's not a big deal. But I can grab the blue, so I at least have 1 of those. So let's go ahead and grab this blue one here, which gives me 2 points. And comes over here, which now means I have 5 of the mask. So we'll put the mask up here. The koala, I need to have 5. I do have the koala face there, but I'm out of red, so I can't take any. So I'm thinking probably just taking another green one to get some resources out to get more points that way. Let's go ahead and grab this 3 apple one, because it's got the mask. I'm going to be getting points for my masks anyways. So that gives me 3 apples. So apple, apple, apple. We have completed this one. So let's deliver that. That was a sword, which gives us a point. So we move on the desert. A point for every green card. 1, 2, 3, 4 points for that. And then another green card, 1 at the end. And then move on each of the other tracks. Reveal the solo. It is a crystal. We'll just throw the crystal right. I'm going to throw the crystal right there. I get to reveal 2 more cards. So I'm going to reveal the yellow cards. I want to see if there's going to be anything worthwhile on there. So there is one for the forest. So I think our last one will be this yellow card with the forest. Like that. Yeah, we'll go there. So we get to move on the forest. And we get to put out one of our trading posts on the forest. Like that. All right. So now we are into the final gather phase. So I've already gotten all my things over here. So I think for this final one, I am going to kind of clean up the cards so I can bring it over and show you everything as it goes along. So for our first thing, I need a crystal over there. So we're going to bring them here, grab a crystal, and we're going to trigger this one. That's a sword, which gives me a point. We now move on the forest one. That gives us 3 points. 1, 2, and 3. Gives us that. Gives us a contract. So how many of those do I have now? 1, 2, 3, 4. I am 1 shy from being able to do them as well. There's that one. Did that sale. Moved. Then what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 8, 10 points. Puts me at 75. Get these out of here. Like that. Next one. We get our just straight 6 points. So we're going to be able to get swords and apples. So I'm going to spend 2 of my contracts to put a crystal there. Because we're going to do a sword, 1 apple, 1 sword, 1 apple to be able to go there. So 1 sword, 1 apple. 1 sword, 1 apple. Because I don't think that one's going to be better because I'm not going to be able to get anything worthwhile there. So we're going to do those. So that's going to be that 10 points again for the green cards and those 2 points. And moving 1 more there, which gives me 1, 2, and 3 points. So that was the best one, especially because I got to do my sword, which was an additional point. So there is all of the tokens and whatnot. So now we move into end game scoring. Wait. Income phase. I have a blue card now. So income is I get a point for every one of those masks. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 points. So that was the income. Now end game. So let's go ahead and do our red cards first. So for the desert, I'm going to get 2 points for every one of those out. So that is going to be 6 points. And then another 6. 6 per card. The forest, I have 2 of them out, so that's going to be 4 points. So that is those cards. We'll do this card here. I get 2 points for every green card. I have 4, so that's 8 points. Nothing else around here. We then come up here. So for every green card and blue card, I get 2 points. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 times 2 is 12, 37. And then every yellow card is 3 points. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 15. So 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. I get 1 point per contract left, 1 and 2. So there is that. I am just into the silver objective. I did not reach gold on this one. So I will say I really thought getting those orders was going to be a lot harder, but I was able to get that nice cascade in that first one that got rid of so many of them. So that was pretty cool. I'll say I was dreading this one the most, but I think this one ended up being my favorite because you were able to look out, figure out a strategy, and kind of go from there and how you wanted to maneuver things. But that is the full play of all of the scenarios for Explorers of Navoria. There's a link down below to see the previous ones if you have missed those. Also down there is various ways you can help support the channel. You can go ahead and like, subscribe, comment, share, and ring the bell for this video and this channel. You can join our Patreon, you can hit up our Ko-fi, or you can join the channel with the join button down below. That one lets you have exclusive access, such as seeing videos early, etc. The other way is the newest way, and we've become an affiliate with Miniature Market. So we have a link down below. If you click on that link and make a purchase, then we will get a small portion of that sale for the channel. Alrighty, so I'm done exploring. How about you?